What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Maverick here with episode 7 of Gleipnir. So, we are moving past the halfway point of this anime now, and we are starting to get a little bit deeper into the story, right? More specifically, at the end of last episode, it seems that there's going to be two major sources of information. One is Claire is going to glean some information in regards to her sister from the leader of this, I guess, sort of neutral, or good, if you want to call it, gathering group. And then, of course, on the other hand, we got Shuichi directly on the collision course to Elena and her group of team members, whatever they are called. So I am actually looking very forward to the latter, considering that we haven't really had dialogue between Shuichi and Elena yet, and considering that she is the one responsible for his situation, as well as having an infatuation with him. I'm looking forward to that. We got some other stuff going on as well. We got this animal girl. I forgot what her name was. Actually, was her name mentioned last episode? I mean, I'm sure if she's an important character, we'll be hearing more in regards to her. And of course, the telescope dude who is perving on her, I guess you could say. But any case, let's get into the episode right now. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Gleipnir. Not really sure what to think of you. Okay. We're about to get into a relationship with her as well. TMI, TMI. No, that's actually important information. Well, she's already admitted as much. Unless she had her circumstances as well, or maybe her personality changed due to something happening. Alien Irina. Yeah, it seems that Irina has like maybe a personality disorder, perhaps. Because if we look at the scenes with her in it, it seems that she always has like two sides to her. I'm still waiting for this battle. Subaru, eh? I remember her name. Because she's cool looking. Alright. And hey, speak of the devil. Or actually, is this a guy? Huh. Okay, he might actually be a guy. I believe the Seiyu voicing this kid is a girl, though. Oh, it's a him. Alright. Still, that doesn't change anything. His powers seem cool. Yeah. Run! Well, technically you didn't kill her. Hmm. Now it'd be nice for a tactical retreat. Why are you so keen on playing the hero all of a sudden? Is she going to get jealous? You haven't? Oh, this dude. Oh, he's the one? Hmm. 'You can read minds? You might want to move. Oh my god, what are you guys doing? What? Father, mother? What the fush? What? Are they gonna revive them using another coin or something? Mm-mm. Shouldn't you guys first kind of like talk to each other and know what their abilities are? Your other half seems to be crushed right now. What the actual Okay, so he's alive. Because you have no conviction. Whoa. What the? My words exactly. What? What's her attack going to be like? Ooh. Oof. Oof. Yeah, I feel like even if you... Okay, so you're speedy, but... Just the mass that you have. Okay, well, I guess normal physics doesn't really apply to them. Wait, so she's still dead? So he's fueled by rage. But still... Whatever rage you have still. Oh! Damn. Oh, you're in for some deep shit right now. And why do you actually have bullets? Ooh. Damn. How OP is Erlina? Like, holy shit. Wait, what? What? Yeah, he's going to stop her. Yeah, she's going to stop him. What? I am completely speechless. I was not expecting something like this. So they actually know of each other. What the? Wow. This was certainly a twist that I was not expecting. It seems that they really did know each other, Irina and Shuichi, and they actually might have been maybe not quite in a relationship, but almost a relationship. So it's actually Shuichi's memories that were lost, or sealed in a way. Oh, she's immortal. Holy shit. Hmm? And she's fine as well. Wow. Okay. Okay. You know, second half of this, I'm feeling it now. This certainly is getting interesting. If my. Anyways, I'll talk more after this. See you guys. Alrighty, so let's talk about this episode, right? So first things first, like I'm already said in the episode, this was a great one. You know, throughout the past 6 episodes and so, I was always kind of on the fence in regards to this series. Like, it did some things that were pretty good, it had some interesting aspects, some interesting characters, but a lot of the other parts, it was honestly pretty mediocre, right? And with lots of ecchi strewn in throughout, but not really anything much to show for it. However, with this episode, I can safely say that I'm fully on board again, and I really want to see what's going to happen next. So we got a ton of awesome developments in this episode, but two main things that we should talk about, right? One is in regards to Irina, and two is in regards to this sort of fusion ability that Shuichi has. So, Elena first. I think with this episode, we can finally confirm that there is more to her backstory, right? She is not simply the sort of crazy killer girl or whatnot. She's not just a yandere in some sort of way, but she is actually being compelled to do this through some unknown circumstances. In fact, through the flashback, we can safely say that perhaps, you know, with pretty good probability, I should say, that Irina and Shuichi were actually a thing back in the day. Maybe not quite complete in a relationship or whatnot, but at least the feelings were mutually there, right? And I could totally see this steering in a direction where Irina is doing the things that she's doing right now, all for Shuichi's sake, in a sort of way, right? You could perhaps, the easiest thing that comes to mind, the most logical explanation would be that Shuichi died, and in order to revive him and whatnot, Irina needs to take on this form and needs to be indebted to do these various things, all according to a specific plan, right? Which she mentioned as well. There is a ending to all of this that she needs to see through, and so without seeing it through, she is actually in an immortal state, right? Now, it's easy to pinpoint this then on the alien, right? Maybe he's in the shadow controlling things and all that. But I don't know, within this episode where we had the scene with the alien as well, and with him having this dream and all that, it doesn't seem that he particularly has an ulterior motive in regards to all this. By and large, it seems that he's mostly a neutral observer, right? I don't really sense any malevolent aura or actions that he's trying to do and whatnot. And maybe it has something to do with his brethren, like why the alien ship is in this vicinity in the first place. But for this specific alien, I don't think we can actually pinpoint the problem on him. I think the true antagonist still lies somewhere else, which we'll learn more about in the future, right? But yeah, I really liked Elena's development this episode, and she was really, really strong as well. Like, holy crap. I always love these kinds of scenes where, this third party suddenly intervenes between a battle, and then you can instantly see, like, how much stronger that this third party actually is, because you can take both their attacks with no problem and whatnot. I always love these kinds of scenes, and it's nice to see Elena giving out this kind of aura as well. Although, to be honest, I feel like that scene could have been a bit more impactful, right? You're literally blocking a punch from, like, this giant dude, this giant monster, which probably has tons and tons of force behind it. You could at least have a sort of impact ripple or shockwave, right, to really show the impact to us viewers as well. Which, that is more on the animation part, which I'll talk about more after the two main points I want to make. But in any case, we see that Shuichi, on the other hand, does have his memory kind of sealed in a sort of sense, although in this episode, due to the fusion between him and Chishiro, I think she's called Chishiro, right? I'm kind of, what's she called again? Chihiro, sorry, not Chishiro, Chihiro. So either his memories are sealed, or, the current Shuichi maybe isn't exactly the same Shuichi that Irina was kind of in a relationship with or was in love with, right? I don't know. There's more things in regards to this. He could be simply a clone of the original Shuichi or something like that. It's hard to say, right? But in any case, I am really liking the vibe that this, with the direction the story is going, and it even kind of reminds me of Inuyasha in a sort of way, right? With this really tragic story and misunderstanding and all that, and a tale of two lovers, the old one and the new one, and we got Claire, and then we got Elena, and then they're both having a complicated sort of relationship with Shuichi and all that. It's fun, right? I really like the plot development in this episode. We're definitely seeing a deeper end and a deeper complexities to the story than was initially shown. The second thing to note here, of course, would be the fusion ability that Shuichi apparently has discovered to use, and I think it might be safe to say that is his actual ability, right? So perhaps he was never meant to fight in this sort of doll form, and that was just a sort of red herring from out to us, right? He's not actually supposed to fight in that form. In fact, his true ability is being able to fuse with whoever is inside him and manifest new abilities and new sorts of evolutions, if you will, in that sort of way. Although I am kind of curious what would happen if it was a non-gather or a non-ability user within him. So, like Claire, for example, is there a reason why he was able to transform this time and not when Claire was inside him, or what, right? So that is something to be seen as well. But Yeah, it does definitely raises a lot more questions as well, right? Like, for instance, in this episode, they were first crushed, and apparently, well, Shuichi, this form that he takes has some form of immortality as well, and he's able to then do this fusion thing, turn into this new monster, new character, and then once he defuses, it can actually revert back to his original state, right? He didn't really revert back to a tattered and torn up state. Which leads me to ask, why was it that in a few episodes back, when his head was torn off, that they actually needed to use a coin in order to ask the alien to fix Shuichi, right? I think if he was able to actually fuse with Claire at that point, perhaps they wouldn't have needed to use something like this to fix him, and it could have just been fixed immediately, right? But yeah, that is definitely an interesting ability as well. Subaru's ability, on the other hand, kind of let me down a little bit. I thought it was going to be much more impactful and much more ominous, much more cooler than what it was. You know, father, mother, and a creature that's actually protecting him and fighting at the same time. You know, I don't. And well, if I guess it's basically referring to him having some family troubles, I'm guessing, right? Typically, these abilities are manifestations of something that they want. So, as the alien has said, so him having this ability as a father and mother probably means that he's an orphan. Probably means that he never received parental love, and so that is how his abilities manifested, right? The fight though. The fight in question, I don't know. I thought it was okay. It wasn't particularly good. I definitely was still more impressed by the fight with the girl who got into Claire's apartment. I still think that one was much more well choreographed. This one, at least, you can still tell that the animation quality was there. It's just that because the enemy was actually this hulking mass of a monster, right? So we weren't really able to see the really cool stuff, right? So, for instance, Shuichi's fused form was quite nice. We can see him, spinning around and doing all sorts of acrobatic moves and whatnot. And during those times, you can really see the animation quality shining through. But it's just too bad that his opponent wasn't able to do the similar thing, right? However, that brings me to what I was saying before. So if your opponent is one of those that are more slow moving but with a lot of force behind them, you need to actually take more time and really emphasize how hard the punch actually is and whatnot. There's numerous ways to do that, right? The easiest way would be to show shock waves through the air and whatnot to really show the strength that they have, or maybe directly using some indirect materials as well. I guess they used the ground in this episode, but even then, it didn't really wow me, let's just say. And I feel like they could have gone even more with that. Or, as I mentioned earlier, the scene where Elena was actually blocking both of their attacks, right? Now, sure, on Shuichi's side, it was just a gun. Putting it down, that's not much, right? But just blocking an entire force of a punch with one hand and all that, we should have seen a lot more ripples of airwaves and so on and so forth to really get that impact in. So I feel like that was a lost opportunity here. But like I said, at least the animation quality is still there for the actual hand-to-hand combat and whatnot. So, well, next episode going forward, we got a lot of questions that needs to be answered, right? I don't know. Is Chihiro going to actually remember what she did in this particular episode, or are they both going to suffer from amnesia and not remember anything, right? I certainly do hope that they don't go the amnesia route where they completely blank out and forgot what happened during the battle. But if there is indeed if they do indeed retain their memories and actually come clean with all this and what happened and start sharing information, I'm really curious as to how this is going to end up, right? I definitely am very interested in Shuichi's relationship with Irina. Alright, so that was episode 7 of Gleipnir. Once again, great episode, really picking the pace up in this second half of the season and really drawing me in once again, right? So hopefully things are just going to continue to go up from here. Alright, see you guys next week, and bye-bye.